Well, hello everybody. Today is Thursday, April the 4th, 2024. My name is Lisa and I am an independent demonstrator with StampinUp. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Stamp with Lisa Saunders. You may also be seeing me on my Facebook page, Crafty and Creeds. Like to share it there as well. Anyway, I'm coming to you this evening with some exciting new information from Stampin' Up. Looks like we've got some sunlight coming through here. I hope y'all can still see it. I hate to complain about the sunlight. We haven't seen it in so long here in the southeastern part of Virginia. But this is our new annual catalog. It starts on May the 1st and goes through April 30th of 2025. And while I cannot show you the inside, I can. Oh man, it's so awesome. I just can't wait for y'all to see it. I did a pre-order as a demonstrator. We're able to do a pre-order. So I went ahead and did that early on as soon as I could on Tuesday. So I'll be getting that in on Monday. It's going to arrive already on Monday. So less than a week, and I will have some new product for us to check out. In the meantime, one of the things that was in our, I think it was our mini catalog for the springtime. And sorry, I didn't have it ready. This is the one that is going out the end of April. This is our mini catalog. One of the sets that we're going to be using tonight to make a card is called Beach Day. And I absolutely love this. I'm not a big beach fan, but the more I get to look at this, the more I like it. There's so many different things that you can do with it. And if you get the bundle, it's only $48.50, but it comes with so many different dies that you can run through your Big Shot. So today what we're going to be using this, and this does carry over. This stamp set is carrying over into the new catalog, so that's a great thing. Kind of along the lines of this card right here that was in the book, I kind of made it a little bit simpler, and here's my version of it. So we are going to get started, and we're going to make that. I think that that's a pretty fun color. It's a Calypso Coral. It's one of my favorite. Ooh, let me get this out of the way. So we're going to use a 5.5 by an 8.5 piece of Calypso Coral cardstock for the outside. Then we've got a 5.25 by 4 basic white on the inside. And then we've got just a basic white scrap. And we're going to be using a 2.5-inch punch. So whatever scrap size you want to use, you just need to make sure that it can fit into whatever round punch size that you're using. And this is the one that we're going to use. And then we're also going to use these adhesive backed speckled dots. These came in the Latte Love or Lotta Love Sweet, the coffee one that I did last week. But they work so well, this right here works so well that we're going to use them again. This is, we're going to be using crumb cake. Oops, I forgot my crumb cake pad. So if you excuse me just a second, I'm going to grab that. Sorry, I try to have everything near me when I'm getting ready to do this. But I did forget our crumb cake ink pad. So we'll be using the crumb cake ink pad, the Calypso Coral ink pad, Memento. The reason we're going to be using the Memento ink is because we're going to color. We're going to color in the umbrella and the beach chair. And if you used the StazOn, the StazOn will not, it'll bleed. Your blenders will bleed. Your blender Stampin' Blends will bleed. So we're going to use the Memento because that's going to keep it. We're going to be using the Pool Party and, of course, the Calypso Coral. So let's get started. Let me move these things out of the way in case you want to take a picture, a screenshot, or maybe you can just remember what you need if you wanted to recreate this. And here's how you get in touch with me. I'm Stamp with Lisa Saunders is my YouTube channel. craftyandcreeds@gmail.com. My website is www.lisasaunders.stampinup.com, and there's my cell phone number if you need to get in touch with me via text. All right, so let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is take these tags off of here. And I am going to fold over my calypso coral. And then I'm going to take the bone folder and just kind of brandish it like that. The next, oh, I need the stamp set too, don't I? The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the outside of this card first, because what I've done is I've used the same color ink and I've stamped the different things around it. We've got some seagrass and some sand castles. So we've got some different things that come with these stamps. That comes in the stamp set. They've got quite a few. It's also got the dies with it, but you can see there's a bird, I guess a seagull, and a beach ball and the seagrass, another bird, and some seashells. But what we're going to do first is we are going to get out our sand castles. And I don't know if you remember from last week, but what we're going to do is we're just going to set this down there and use our block, and that's how we're going to get the stamp on there. I hope that sun's not too much for you guys. I hope you're able to see it. We're just going to tap the ink a little bit, and we're just going to kind of go in. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just going to be kind of random. I'm just going to stamp off on some, I guess. And then we're going to go in with the beach grass. I think that's what it's called, beach grass. My mom might have, maybe it's not the same thing as pampas grass, but I think that's what my mom used to call it, but it may not be the same thing. We're just going to tap that in. And now we're going to put a little grass. I'm going to put a white circle there, so I don't really need a lot underneath there. This is such a fun set, and I think I've mentioned before that I live in southeastern Virginia Beach, so I am actually in Virginia Beach, and I think this is a fun set to have when you live at the ocean front. Well, I don't live at the ocean front, far from that, but my zip code's in Virginia Beach anyway, so I think it still counts. So that's what we did for the outside. And now for the circle that we're going to do. I'm going to close this up because I'm notorious for putting the wrong ink in. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go in with the memento, and I'm going to get the umbrella. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to get that beach umbrella with my block, and just going to ink that up in this memento. And I kind of want it maybe a little sideways. So there's that one. And then I'm going to get the chair, this little beach chair right here. Sorry for all my sniffling. Pollen is a real thing around here lately. It's driving me crazy. I'm going to dip my little chair in some ink. And going to put my chair right there. So now I'm going to close the, oh, one more for that, and that's going to be for our seagull. We're going to do the flying seagull. I love the start of a new catalog season. We did this card in my stamp class a couple weeks ago, and it was a lot of fun. The ladies really enjoyed it. So I hope that you'll take advantage of it and enjoy it as well. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this seashell stamp right here, and that's what we're going to use for our sand for underneath here. So we're going to set that down and put it the right way first, and then just kind of pick it up, and then we're going to go in with our crumb cake. Crumb cake is definitely an oldie but a goodie. So hopefully the sun is shining not in your eyes, but you're able to see this. We're just going to kind of go in here and put some sand around, some sand and some seashells, and don't be worried if it's kind of gone off, because you're going to punch it out anyway. All right. The next thing that I like to do is I'm going to go ahead and color the umbrella. I'm going to use the fat tip of the Stampin' Blends. There's a skinny tip for fine lines, and there's a fat feathery tip that you can use. One thing that you want to make sure that you do when you're using your Stampin' Blends is, instead of pointing down just like that, you kind of want to do it to the side so that you don't bend the tip and cause it to feather, and then it's like a paintbrush, a very used paintbrush, and all of your ink will be everywhere. The little feathers get out and they go to wherever you don't want them to be. So this is the Pool Party that we're using now. Calypso Coral and Pool Party. And they're from the Subtles collection. It's another thing I like about Stampin' Up! So much, is that they have collections of what colors go well together, and they're so much fun. One of the ladies that I stamp with, her name is Miss Lenore, and we stamp together once a month, and she made this really neat collection. So here are the brights. These are all the brights that are in the bright collection, those colors. Like you've got your pumpkin pie, coastal cabana, granny apple green. Here's the neutrals. Here's the regals. Those are just so beautiful. They just pop. And here's the subtles. We're using Calypso Coral, Pool Party. That's what we're using today. And she went ahead and did this with the in colors, which I thought was pretty neat. These are the in colors that are retiring on April 30th of this year: Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, and Orchid Oasis. But then here's the 23 through 25 in colors, and these you can still get. You can get these through next year. And then the new in colors will be coming out soon. Hopefully I'll have them on Monday, and they're really awesome. We're going to go ahead and we're going to go in with the light Calypso Coral. That's the other thing, is you always get a light and a dark of the Stampin' Blends. And I'm going to use the thinner end instead of the feather tip or the fat tip. And I'm just going to go in like that. So that's all of the coloring that we're doing, and there it is on the other side. I always think it's funny to look on that side. And next what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and open our punch. And again, this is a 2.5-inch punch. And it's okay if we cut off part of our bird. I don't mind that. And then here's our scrap that we can throw away. And then here's our piece that we can go ahead and adhere to the outside. What I did do was I used our dimensionals, the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, put them on to kind of pop it up. These little pieces kind of get stuck. You don't realize that. And then I'm just going to center this on here. See what I mean? That we covered up some of the pieces, some of the stuff that we stamped, the sandcastles and the grass underneath. And now we're going to go ahead and do our inside. The inside of the card, the sentiment that I used on this one was wishing you a beautiful day. Then we've got sending sunshine your way, happy birthday, or enjoy today. I think I'm going to stick with the wishing you a beautiful day. We're going to stick with that one. I've got somebody in mind who I'm going to go ahead and send this to. And we're going to go in with our memento. Stamp it down. There we are. And go ahead and use our handy dandy Stampin' Seal. That's one thing that I have to say is I am left-handed. So when I use it, the name is backwards. Somebody else would use it. A right-handed person would use it and the name would be topside. So maybe we can get Stampin' Up! To get that fixed. So we've got, a little goes a long way. Just going to put some in there and then get this centered. Just kind of eyeball it there. And there's our front. The only thing we have left to do is to add our gems to it. And I'm going to use the Stampin' Up! Pick a Tool. And as you know, this is one of my favorite things. We're going to use the gummy end. It's got this gummy stuff on it, and it just kind of picks up and puts your gem or your embellishment wherever you want it to go. Somebody had told me before that you always do it in odd numbers, so 3 or 5, and I chose to use 3 of them. And there's the card. There's the finished card. I sure hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. And I hope you come back and see me next week. Thanks, take care, and enjoy yourselves. Be creative.